Good evening, guys. Good evening once again. Welcome to South Africa Lately, a channel where we discuss South African trending news. We do, however, grab here and there from international news when it is trending enough to be brought here. I am not a politician. I do not have deep knowledge in politics. You know, this disclaimer is like, yeah, but I have to do it. I do not have deep knowledge in politics. However, I am a South African citizen who is also a voter, and I do believe that my views count when it comes to political affairs of South Africa, as that informs how I vote and who do I vote for. With that set aside, as the ANC is reflecting on the 100 days of the GNU, there have been many speeches, media briefing and all of that. But what has stood out for me, one of the things that have stood out for me, is the Deputy President Paul Mashatile coming out talking about Helen, Zille and Panyaza, the two people that are beefing. They are beefing so badly, and the whole thing has dragged Fikile Mbalula into the picture, and now it looked like they are entangled in some internal war with Panyaza Lesufi. So Paul Mashatile came out to say, look, I do hope Helen, Zille and Panyaza Lesufi will sort themselves out through Deputy President. Like, I hope they will solve their problems. Helen, Zille, Panyaza Lesufi. And as for the GNU in the national office and the ANC in the national office and the Democratic Alliance in the national office, they are working together in harmony. There are no issues there. He says, we would have loved to work with the Democratic Alliance even in provincially, but with Gauteng, they heard from the Gauteng ANC that look, the Democratic Alliance is demanding the impossible. So they were informed by the national office of the ANC that, look, go ahead without them, leave them behind. Before you say I'm making stuff up, please do hear it from the horse's mouth.
Helen, Zille and Panyaza, well, I'm sure they will resolve those issues. As far as we are concerned, we said to the government of Gauteng, led by the ANC, if the DA doesn't want to work with you in Gauteng, leave them behind. It's not your problem. And they must not make it our problem nationally, because we are working well with them nationally. It's up to the DA to make sure they work well with our structures in the provinces. We want our structures to work with them, but our structures came to us. Gauteng came to us and said the DA is making impossible demands. And therefore we can't proceed, and we said to them, well, leave them behind. If they are not reasonable, go without them. But doesn't mean that we don't want to work with the DA. All I'm saying that all parties must be.
And in another episode of the Game of Thrones between Panyaza Lesufi and Fikile Mbalula, yesterday we saw Fikile Mbalula going on some, if he challenges the office of the Secretary General of the ANC, he must mind his steps. He must mind his steps. We are not going to allow rogueness in the ANC. You know, it was messy like that. I'm not going to put that clip back here. But, you know, let me tell you something. As much as politics can be frustrating and they can be also entertaining, you know, we need to laugh at ourselves because we cannot always cry all the time. You know, I miss the solid ANC. Do you understand? I miss the solid ANC. Just to see the ANC solid, man. I'm missing that. So now Fikile Mbalula was on some, the office of the Secretary General, you must mind his steps. And people are like, yeah, Panyaza, yeah, is challenging Fikile Mbalula, not. And it really seems like they are at war with each other, like something is really going on between the two of them. Really, we might be reading it wrong, but from where I am sitting and with a few, because sometimes when you say we, people will be like, you and who? Yeah, me and my own people. I have my friends and families. That's the way I'm talking about. It looks like they have issues. I hope they do iron out those issues. So Panyaza Lesufi has come out and said something differently. Some are saying, yeah, he really, Fikile Mbalula really shook Panyaza Lesufi, whatever decision that has made him to say, whatever that has made him to take a decision to come out and say, no, we are not supposed to challenge our leadership and all of that. I'm just enjoying seeing them looking like they are uniting. I'm all for a good project. I'm all for a good project, because now for me, they are my project now, because I like a good story. Let me say like that. I like a good story. So seeing the ANC resurrect, being stronger, because this is a party that has liberated South Africans from the apartheid regime. So for them to come out of the ashes and actually do good and lead South Africans accordingly, and just do good, because now we're beefing with the ANC. We are beefing. As the people that have been voting for the ANC for so long, we are really beefing with the ANC, because we look at our voices like, we allowed this to happen. Honestly, truly speaking, I do sometimes blame myself that no, I'm one of the people that have allowed this to happen for so long. So I'm all for a good story. If they can put themselves in order and resurrect and be good, it's a good story to tell. Am I still going to vote for them? That is another story. That is another story altogether. Anyway, I'd like you to hear what Panya said.
Comrades, as we celebrate this milestone of establishing a government of national unity, we must be wary of those that are doing wrong things. Comrade SG was right, comrades. It must not be in our name that we undermine the leadership of this movement. It must not be in our name that we want to define ourselves outside the leadership of the African National Congress. We are under the leadership of the African National Congress, and our national office bearers provide that particular leadership. And we must respect that, comrades. Comrades, we also want to thank all the provinces that have established government. We want to thank all the premiers that are here, and we further want to thank all those that have led in those negotiations. Comrades, we have one ANC, we have one national leadership. Our victories remain ours together. Our challenges remain ours together.
Says Fikile Mbalula was right. So if they were beefing, the two of them, does this mean they are now forgiving each other, bearing the hatchet and moving forward and building the ANC once again to be the first movement it used to be? It was so easy before to just know that I'm voting ANC. You just go in there, and now people have started asking questions. Is it worth it? Some, they don't even ask questions. They just close that door and don't look back and start criticizing from the other side. So are they able? I just hope they will be able to build this movement, to rebuild it. It will be so sad for it to become history. And we start reading the newspapers, we start reading from online that there was once the ANC. And, the ANC had a chance. And it is said that the person that once said the ANC will rule until Jesus comes back, and is the same person that has led to the ANC to be under 51%. See this life, eh? This life. There's somebody that once said the ANC will govern this country until Jesus comes back. I did that it was going to be his hand, or his hand is the person that he was talking about. Anyway, thank you for watching my videos. This is South Africa Lately, a channel where we discuss South African trending news. We do, however, grab here and there from international news when it is trending enough to be brought here. Thank you guys for watching my videos.